It was earlier this month when English Week became the biggest story in Quebec. A Quebec City Cégep Garneau, dared to celebrate the English language for the week. The story ended up in Quebec's National Assembly, where politicians were outraged. Premier Legault said it wasn't a good idea. Liberal MNA André Fortin said the event should be cancelled. Now, with that in mind, this week on the Elias Macko Show, we're doing things a little differently. It's French Week. Every day at 10:20, we'll be doing a segment dedicated to French and its place in Quebec, Canada, and the world. Now let's get to our next story, where this year alone at Canada's largest French language university, 3,400 French students began their studies, students from France. Université de Montréal has French students making up the largest contingent. Why? Well, apparently French students are fed up with the French system. The pressure and competitiveness pushing many to take the journey across the Atlantic. With more on this, let's go to Michèle Glémaud from Université de Montréal, the university's Director General of Admissions and Recruitment. Michèle, welcome to the program.
Wow. Very happy to be here with you.
Yes, and we're happy to talk to you. Tell us about what's happening at Université de Montréal with admissions and just this number of people from France saying, hey, we want to go study in Montreal.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's been for a couple of years that a lot of students coming from France that are very attracted to coming to at the University of Montreal. I think they're very attracted by coming to Montreal as a university city where they could study in French, but they could also have a feed into the bilingual city. So that's something that I think that attracts them a lot. And many of them are coming to us because they say they want to be able to study in a university where, I mean, theory is very important, but also the practical aspect of learning and practical aspect of seeing things like, when they're going into a scientific program, they have the ability of doing a lot of things in the different labs that we have. So I think that's what that's what attracts them a lot about coming to Montreal, coming to University of Montreal, and also they're trying. Their goal is to go to universities that are well recognized all over the world, so that if they decide to go back to France or to go back anywhere to work, that their graduate diploma will be recognized wherever they want to come. So I think it's all those ingredients that makes them being attracted to come at the University of Montreal.
I've heard some stories about a frustration with how the French system works in academia at the university level in France. Can you shed some light on that fact? I know you mentioned in your answer just before about, the practical side of things at Université de Montréal and how that is something that students want. Just what is the difference between the French system and the system we have here in Quebec?
Mm-hmm. Well, the French system, most of the students, if they want to go into university, they have to go through a new system called Parcoursup, which is a little bit complicated for the students, and they have to wait a while before they get an answer, before they know whether or not they will be admitted to the programs that they want to get into eventually. That's one thing. The second thing, a lot of students, once they get into the program, after a year, some of them might be. Sorry, I'm trying to find the word in English.
It's French Week, so you can switch to French. It's French Week. That's fine with us.
That's good. They might not succeed in the first year, and if they don't succeed in the first year, it makes it even difficult for them to be able to continue and find a path that is the right path for them. Where in comparison to University of Montreal, where the students are selected. So most of the students, because they're selected, we give them the support they need to be able to succeed in their studies in the first year, which they don't find a lot in France because the classes are much bigger. They're into big amphitheatres, where in Quebec it's a bit different. So I think these are the things that the students, they're more attracted to come and getting the support they need to be able to succeed. A lot of the university in France that would have the right support will be the private universities, like the equivalent of HEC Paris. but it's much more expensive than coming to a university than Montreal. So I think these are the reasons why the students are they don't feel they're getting the right support in order for them to succeed. And you have to remember that a student coming from France, especially at the lycée, coming from a lycée, they're about 17-year-olds, so they're quite young. So moving into the university sphere, they still need that support. And I think that's what they find a lot at the university, like University of Montreal.
We are with Michèle Glémaud from Université de Montréal, the Director General of Admissions and Recruitment at that university. So when it comes to recruitment and admissions, is this an easy sell now for you? When it comes to a French student from France, is that an easy sell, an easy case to make? Hey, come to Montreal?
I would not say it's an easy one, but it's becoming more and more attractive to French students because of, like I said, because of the fact that we are in Montreal, because of the reputation of the University of Montreal. A lot of students are turning their eyes towards us. It's still. I would not say it's an easy sell because it's a big decision for the students. It's a big decision for their family, because you're sending your child abroad, and they're quite young when it comes for the bachelor degree. So there's a lot of things that the parents and the student has to take into consideration before making that move. But more and more French students are looking for more the North American system, and coming at the University of Montreal, it's a great perspective for them because they'll come and study in French, but also they'll have the sense of being in that bilingual city and having the North American life. So I think it's all these things that are being put into the bucket that makes it a good decision for most of them. And also, the fact that employment is quite well in Montreal. Often those students also look at these different things, and they're attracted by the idea of coming to study at the University of Montreal.
Certainly.
And another aspect also that's important, I think the fact that we are a multicultural city, and the fact that at the University of Montreal they have that chance of being in contact with people from all over the world, it's also something that the students really enjoy. I think they want to get away from that. From not being that much in contact with people coming from all over the places. That's also something that a lot of students really enjoy being.
And I certainly have heard that story that the employment outlook in France for a lot of people, they're discouraged by it, and that's the reason they head to Canada, head to Quebec. Let me switch gears here, Michèle, just for a second. I'd love to talk to you now that I've got you with us here. Because I know Anglophones in Montreal, they did their whole schooling in the English system, and they want to study law, and they actually choose to go to Université de Montréal and study law with your institution. And instead of going to McGill, they can easily go to McGill as well. Could I ask you, do you see that at all? What about Anglos and Allos in Montreal that could easily go to, one of your English competitors, but choose Université de Montréal? Does that happen?
Yes, it does happen. I think we're becoming more and more accessible, and we're sending a message across as the university that we want to be open to everyone. We want to be open to students from allophone background, students from anglophone backgrounds. We've worked with a lot of this English cégep to build relationships so that it will be easier for their students if they want to come and study at the University of Montreal. So we're very aware of that, and we want to be more accessible. That's definitely an objective that we have at the University of Montreal. So more and more students are coming. I was at as you're mentioning, I was at an activity for the Faculty of Law. And there were a lot of students coming from English backgrounds that wanted to come and study at the University of Montreal, especially students coming from English cégep, because they want to make sure that it's opening all doors to them. If they're staying in being in a French university could be helpful for them. In our perspective, we're also very concerned, and we're also we make sure that we give them the tools so that they can succeed. I know that the Faculty of Law make sure that the students, if they need activities to improve their French, they will have the activities that they need. And we also have a new unit called UDM Français at UDM that is there to help the students succeed in their studies, even though if they're not from a Francophone background.
With everything we've discussed, Michèle, let's wrap up with this one because it is French Week on the show. How do you feel about the vitality of the French language in Quebec? Your thoughts?
Well, the vitality is, it's very good. We know that many of our students are speaking French. It is true that a lot of young students are attracted to learning English. And I think it's completely okay because we want our students to be bilingual. We want them to be able to succeed wherever they want to go in the future. But at the meantime, we want to make sure that we still remain a Francophone city, and we remain a city that believes that French is an asset. And I think that's the perspective a lot of us at the University of Montreal. We're seeing French as an asset, not as a problem, but more as something that could help opening doors to whatever aspiration that the students would have in the future. So I think the vitality is good, and we just have to make sure that it remains. The concern is that I was going to say it in French.
You finish in French. I want you to finish in French. Say it in French.
Si on ne le cultive pas, if we don't cultivate the French, then it might disappear. We have to be aware that Quebec is a little space in North America where we still speak French. So we want to make sure that we cultivate the love for the language, and that it remains as a beautiful asset for us in North America to have that little province that is very keen into cultivating the French in everyone that is around us.
Michèle, c'était un plaisir. Thank you so much. Merci beaucoup.
My pleasure. Au revoir.
Au revoir. That's Michèle Glémaud from Université de Montréal, the university's Director General of Admissions and Recruitment.